pros, business minds, and thought leaders share the secrets to success. Welcome to Call Me Successful.
So we're very, very excited to have Brad Wilson with us. Brad's the number one selling principal and number of sales for Railway Queensland, and also the number one auction lister. A couple of very big achievements. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, mate. It's a pleasure to be here. Always happy to have a chat.
So one thing I just genuinely want to ask you is because you've got so much enthusiasm and it looks like you just started real estate yesterday. When did you actually start real estate?
Oh, probably about 8 years, coming up to 8 years now, straight out of school, and just hungry to get in. I don't think I wanted to do real estate at the start. It kind of just was an opportunity, thought we'll give it a crack. And it just all kind of fell in place after lots of hard work, and 8 years later, it's transformed.
I think a lot of people can get a lot of things out of this chat because there's not many people have dominated the space so quickly like you have. I mean, to go to number one in Ray White Network, it's not a lean feat because you're against so many amazing agents.
Yeah, that's right.
We had Jason Andrew yesterday and this morning actually, and he said to be in the top 10, you have to write 2 million GCI a year. You've done that in 8 years. What was it about your first year? How did you take off? What did you do in the first year?
I think, the office I was at, just trying to be a sponge, pick up every little detail I could from all the agents that were there. They were experienced at the time. No one really writing any big numbers at that stage, but always just being a sponge, especially getting into the industry. Started as an associate. So that was probably a year and a half being associate, and really from there thrown in the deep end. What I did is just do all the unfun stuff, everything that wasn't fun, your door knocking, your letterbox dropping. Really used to just do a lot of everything. Calls were definitely a priority at that stage, and just took opportunity where others weren't really doing anything in that space, and that's relatable to any market. Really, there's so much opportunity everywhere.
So which office was it, and which area did you start in?
Upper Coomera, and still in Upper Coomera to date. So nothing about that area that I picked. I just got given that area as such. We had a listing to start with, and we just took off from there. Started with the Magic 50, fresh out of school, getting into that. Really had no idea what to do at that stage. Just listened to the principal at the time, and just done the work pretty much.
Brad, one of the things that we see in the industry is agents coming in all the time, and they pick I want 2 areas, I want 3 areas, and then something doesn't work out. They're chopping and changing areas, going from, I want a higher price area, I want a lower price area, I want a transaction area. One thing is that you've stayed stable, steady in that whole marketplace for the whole 8 years. How important is that to our listeners out there?
Oh, I think it's critical, and just to start to build that momentum, especially the first 0 to 500, really to start in a bit of a micro pocket, because you can't go out there and dominate, 2 suburbs as such. That's just unreasonable to do that. As when you start, even if I went out there starting a new area today, I'd start very small. And then pretty much from there, that might be a type of property. If it's apartments, a couple of buildings, etc., or a little estate, a body corp area, whatever it is, something relatable where those owners, they're just seeing your face everywhere and every signboard in that micro pocket. And then once you've got a certain amount of market share from there, improve your area as such. So for us, I've only just taken over a full suburb. So just more and more opportunity, and we're seeing more and more growth today. So every year we're getting better and better. And once I guess you get that market share and you look at the numbers, you then can keep improving as such your target area.
So it's taken you 8 years to take over a whole suburb.
Yep.
So has that been a gradual change? Like every year, do you add 500 homes or 1,000 homes? How have you done that gradual change?
Look, our office, we had farm areas as such, and definitely encourage that as an agent to be that guy selling everything in that area as such. And as you get that market share, keep improving. But that's been part of the change. We wanted more area as such, and in this ownership change as such in the office, we had a bit of a different structure. We wanted to take on a whole suburb to keep growing, which we did. So that's where we're at the moment. So it's not necessarily a time frame of we wanted to, after 1 year, take more area. We really tried, once we started from that micro pocket, hit 30-40% market share, then keep moving on. So really anything 30 plus market share in that pocket, 100 sales, 30 sales of them are yours. You should be the number one in that area, absolutely. And then if you're still targeting a similar suburb or similar area, that's just an easy move to the next area.
So when did you get to the level that you were riding, say 300k GCI? Like, how did you get to that level, and how long did it take you?
I think the first year it was about 170, and then the second year was just over Premier, Ray White Premier, just over 300 as such. So second year as a full agent. So it was about a year and a half with being an associate, then a year hit that 170, 180 mark, and pretty much doubled every year from there.
So what was the result of that? Like, when did you add a team member? When did you change focus? Like, what was it that made you double your GCI every year?
Every year, super ambitious. So just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. Every year every Ray White tier, the recognition tier, we would keep adding someone on. So I started at the time, my fiance, Jen, she come on as admin to start with. How we structure our single agents now, we don't go straight into admin. We'll look at a different team member to start with. But at the time, it was a lot of trial and error, and that opportunity come up. So we got Jen on board. Then we moved, once we hit probably elite or close to elite, we then moved on to an associate, which then got restructured down the track. But today, I think I've got 7 or 8 people in my team. So yeah, it's just kept growing, and where we see value, where it's going to help the business, help our clients, and help productivity, we'll keep adding to it.
7 and 8, that's like a whole office within the team. So how do you actually structure that and run that? Because a lot of agents struggle, right? Like, say you've got 300k GCI in a year and you want to build your team. How do you decide who's the next? Is it a buyer manager? Is it a calling person? Is it a door knocker? Like, how does your team decide that?
We like to structure our business. We've got people that help to generate the listings and people that help to sell the listings as such. So wherever I guess the hole is in that time, if it's we haven't listed enough, we need some resources there. If we haven't sold enough, there could be a problem with the stock out as such. So we look at that and then we'll bolster from there. So if it's admin, so I've got 2 admin in my team at the moment. If it's something around that, we're just getting caught up too much around that, and that's going to help free up the guys in the sales roles to jump on the phones more. We can put someone on there too. So I guess it's just wherever the holes are in the business, and that can be to start with. I mean, depending on your office support, if you're a single agent, really you want to be getting and making more calls as such, getting an associate on straight away, and then relying more on that. So really just trying to bolster the amount of calls you're making and yet double the productivity there.
Who does the training in your team? How do you train your staff?
In our office, myself, Simon Jace. Yeah.
Okay, so all the principals are responsible for the training.
Yeah, for the agents and the associates as such. So we are selling principals, as you know, so results driven. We will influence and help the team grow as such. We want to see our team members hit to where we've hit and tell them and teach them the skills as such moving forward. So, yeah.
One of the things that I've noticed from afar is seeing your growth, the growth of your team, and the number of properties you sell every year. It's kind of been aligned with the growth of the suburbs as well. So you've done that really well. Tell us more about the Northern Gold Coast corridor, because not many people spoke about it, like, say, 7, 8, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Now everyone wants to buy there. There's so many new homes being built. There's golf courses. There's shopping malls. Like, how have you taken advantage of it? Because it seems like that you guys have taken advantage of it more so than anyone else out there.
I think any market, there'll be opportunity. You expanding here, there's going to be opportunity. Not as many, I guess, dominant agents there. But yes, the area has boomed. We've got the Coomera Hospital coming as well, second motorway. We've had plenty of infrastructure. In my suburb, we've got 4 high schools, so a lot of good options, primary schools there, private, public. The area's grown, and the sale prices have grown. I think we've seen obviously growth in pretty much every area since the COVID timeframe. So obviously sale prices, we can't really control that, but that's grown in that stage. It's for the area. There was so much stigma around Upper Coomera when I first started. People just didn't want to be there. It was, it's Upper Coomera, it's Upper Coomera. But really, you can be a high-performing agent anywhere. As long as, you look at the numbers, you can actually figure out there's potential to grow there. We'll help our agents in our team. If there's not enough properties in that area for them to grow, we'll look to then put them in that right area as such to match their ambitions. But yeah, I mean, really have to look at the numbers there. And the area as such in Upper Coomera, or Northern Gold Coast as such, so much growth. Like we were talking about for you in here, this area, how it's grown, like in Pimpamar as such. Yeah, crazy growth.
One of the things that a lot of people talk about you and your team is that, COVID gave a lot of people problems, a lot of opportunities. The market was behaving weirdly. Banks said that everything was going to crash at that time. One of the things about your team was like, you did the best out of the worst situation. I felt like that from afar, that your sales boomed at the time. And when all the other agents were just standing still, you guys developed a method to sell that was above and beyond everyone else. So tell us about that method and what happened during COVID and how did you guys maximize what was out there?
Yeah, I think at that time, no one knew what was going to happen. We just made that decision just to work harder than anyone else. And that was really my mindset from day one. Anyone in that office at the time, we just wanted to work harder and do the Sunday open homes, etc. But that COVID, like that's so much opportunity there. Like for every suburb, we've seen such massive growth in that median sale price, and that's obviously going to help any agent grow their team, more income, etc. But for the area, like it's great for the area. For us, we just doubled down on everything. Where people were really, and I saw it in sales meetings at the times there, people weren't attending, they just weren't giving it their all, or uncertain, some going on holidays. Like I was in lockdown cold calling still, and just took that opportunity, adapting to the virtual tours at that time, and yeah, doing everything we can to make sure we operate where others just weren't doing anything. So we obviously picked that up, and from, every year it's literally been doubled. So we're just going to keep pushing and pushing.
And is that where the online auction method really developed and blossomed to what it is? And it's sort of fueled your rise to the number one auction agent in Queensland. So what happened with the online auctions during COVID?
I hated auctions at the start. I remember doing a couple of auctions 5-6 years ago when no one did them, and yeah, just didn't understand them obviously. And yeah, we only really dived down into it during COVID. The online, I guess, like really the thought to do auctions were just around the efficiency of selling them unconditional, because I think, 1 week, and there's usually a big story around how many contracts you fall through as such to make you an auction agent. So many fell through in one particular period, and from there the solution, how are we going to fix that? And the auction obviously was that big thing. The online was just down to really the COVID restrictions. I remember we jumped on a Zoom because we had no structure around at all. So we got the whole team on. I remember it was a block of land, was one of the most iconic auctions in the office at the time. I think it was a block of land in Mount Nathan that Jason listed. And yeah, we had probably 7 or 8 staff members on the Zoom, on the phone to buyers. And that worked really, really well. We had an awesome result for buyer and seller. And from there, I guess it's just adapting to that. And doing such volume, big volume, for us, the online definitely makes it more convenient for us, plus for buyers too. Our buyers can jump on and literally 5 minutes on the phone, they can buy a property. If they tune in, they can watch a live stream, they can bid on the phone. Our buyers just like it. It's convenient, and there's no real excuse if they're interested, they got an opportunity to attend.
So how many online auctions are you doing weekly now?
Probably would average 8 to 10 a week, I'd say. Yeah.
So it started with 1 or 2
within the office.
Every week it just kind of grew into what it is now.
Yeah.
So about 40 a month at the moment.
We definitely would be aiming around that. Yeah. I think this week on Thursday we've got 30 plus. Yeah.
So do you invite your pipeline and your appraisals, everyone else to come and view the online auction as well?
I think that's one thing that people that do on-site auctions are really protective around. They're going to think that, I can't invite my pipeline. My pipeline get to watch it every week. And literally I'll go and listing presentations and they're in my area and I don't even know they've watched, but word of mouth, they're literally watching online. And I go and sit in there and they said, I watched the auctions last week. It's better than watching the news on TV. It's more positive, etc. Literally I've gone in there and they've told me about that. So that's something that, it's been a great opportunity for pipeline for them to watch and view. Easy for them to attend. And for pipeline too, they don't have to rock up to a property if they're kind of semi-interested in the market and what's happening, hey, just click a link. You can watch. You don't have to register. You can watch 10 properties in your area sell under the hammer. How good's that? Keeps you really up to date with the market.
Because that sort of became your point of difference, because speaking to agents, they always struggle with, hey, Avi, what do I say to my pipeline? Do I say I'm touching base? It always comes out with touching base. But you've actually got like genuine, substantive things for them.
100%. Yeah, you always got to provide value to your pipeline. Yeah, not just touching base. Hey, you ready to sell? You ready to sell? Won't have a conversation like that ever. And my prospecting calls at the moment, again, volume helps, but I'll just dial. We'll figure out what to say afterwards. There's something that's sold in that area. We'll talk about that. The pipeline, the clients want to know value, so always want to give them that value and let them know what's happening anyway.
So I want to just change tack, because how long were you an agent before you decided to become a business owner?
7 years. So, I mean, it's only been the last 6 months, so probably 7 years. We're approaching 8 years in the industry now.
8 years. So you having associates, assistants, like you were kind of like a business owner within the business anyway, in a way, right?
Yep.
But taking on a business is a total different meaning.
Yep.
And then you became a Ray White principal as well at the same time. So I want to understand what led to it. And as a Ray White agent, becoming a Ray White principal was a different ball game as well. So why Ray White as well? Because you would have had people reaching out every day. Hey, Brad, let's open up. Let's do this. Other brands, other agencies. So why the change to becoming a business owner when it's going so well for you as an agent?
Yeah, we had opportunity. We wanted to fix certain things. We wanted to keep growing as agents, and there were restrictions there where we were. So we wanted to change that, and there were plans to change that. Didn't happen. So the only option, or really, we got fired. We then got fired, and from there, the next 3 to 6 months, we kind of built the office what it takes for a high performer. We wanted to kind of build it from the ground up, what we need, and then replicate that to aspiring high performers, knowing exactly what they need. Because really, before, we hit a certain level and there was not much growth there. So from there, we just wanted to get, I guess, better and better and better. And yeah, I mean, my aspirations definitely as an office now to see as many people, become zero to chairman elite as such, and keep pushing and pushing, as well as myself now to keep pushing the boundary in the Northern Gold Coast. Who would have thought, you got a chairman elite rider in Coomera? That was never a question. So, and now I've got 3 and 4 in extended suburb with Corey and Steph, plus other aspiring people in those neighbouring suburbs that will just copy and paste what we do. And for us, obviously, stepping into business ownership, we want to keep developing ourselves, myself personally, keep pushing the boundary there, but also to build a successful team, to really build, a team of dominant agents in every suburb. And what they're going to do is just do what we did.
So for the viewers that don't know, Chairman's Elite is about 1.55 million GCI in the Ray White network. So how long have you been open as a business?
6 months.
6 months, and you've got 4 Chairman's Elite riders, and how many people in the business now?
I think there's just over 50 staff, and we started with about 7 or 8. We're around that day when we got terminated our agreement, but and from there we've grown. Open property management, definitely something that's been great to do as well, and we've had great attraction, great response from the market. Really. Diving down in that customer service type, plus, just really growing and growing, which, again, setting up the business how we know we need it as such to really, create these chairman riders and we just want to dominate as such these markets.
So this is probably one of the fastest growing Ray Whites that I've ever heard of. It's not actually hyper growth. We need to come up with a new name to define it. 50 people in 6 months, and property management as well. It's already humming. From all accounts.
I think we're number 1 for growth last month or this financial year
We'll track you down. Don't worry. We're coming. That's been an insane start. It's been an absolutely insane start. One of the things that you mentioned to in your answer before was customer service. So a lot of people probably don't know about this, but you're also the number 1 agent in Queensland for Rate My Agent.
2023, that was an awesome achievement, winning that Rate My Agent award. And that's really how we built a good name. We really wanted to make that customer experience as good as possible. Obviously, a lot of people, we've got a lot of different conversations. We've got a big team, but yeah, I've got people on the team that are dedicated there just to make that client experience as great as possible for them. So especially working in those areas, if you do the wrong thing or if you have the wrong intentions, you can easily be found out. And yeah, you could lose a lot of momentum if you got that type of mindset. So it's definitely bigger picture. And yeah, I mean, the customer service rate my agent asking, I think we had the year, I think I sold about 120 in that year, and we had like 119 reviews or something like that. So it was almost 100% 5-star coming in. So it was a massive response, and we're still to this day asking for reviews and diving down on that. We want to win that as an office coming up.
And one of the things that stands apart from all the other partner agencies is that your partners and you guys are also aligned on your thinking, on your GCI, on your recruitment goals. Like, that must be really nice to sit around a table and saying, I'm so aligned with my business partners.
Yeah. I think when you've got a good team around you, if you're a single agent, if you're property management, business ownership comes up as an opportunity, or if you're an agent that just, we've got new people joining us as such, just want to be aligned with us and have the same growth and ambition. So if you find the right people, then that's always great. And if there's problems, we'll talk about it. Like, we're all up front. We all want the best thing by the business and for our client. So ultimately, if it's property related, it's got to be by the client. It's the clients first. So what's best for them? That's really the mindset. For us, we want to create a super team as such. And 6 months in, but yeah, we've got an awesome team, and every single staff member's there for a reason, as we believe in them as such too. So yeah, I mean, for us, the shared trauma there as well that brought us together. And yeah, I mean, we're here today and we're as strong as ever.
So we've got Ray White Coomera.
Yep.
Ray White Upper Coomera.
Yep.
Ray White Pimpama.
Yep.
Which is now known as what?
Alliance.
Ray White Alliance.
Yep.
So that's the group name. So it's all aligned, and it's alliance together.
It's an alliance of the best agents in the Gold Coast.
Not just the northern Gold Coast, it's the whole Gold Coast.
The Gold Coast.
Yes. So that's the question. That's the next question is where does this go, the alliance?
Yep.
It's not just about the northern corridor now, it's just the whole Gold Coast that you're trying to dominate.
Yeah, well, look, in the northern end, there's only so many suburbs there as such. So the absolute focus is hitting those suburbs, and we've identified the right people within the team. There's not really other agents out there that we see as the right fit and the right mindset. So we're just spending a lot of time daily to grow these internal agents and to teach them the ways. As you know, with recruitment as such, you're picking up someone that probably has bad habits. For us, we've got a very hungry team, guys that just listen and want to learn, and they trust us. And doing that, they'll get the rewards. We want to build them up as such. So yes, the northern's the start. There's so much area and there's so much untapped potential everywhere. But we are an alliance of the best agents on the Gold Coast.
Brad Wilson, thank you so much
Avi,
for coming on our podcast. Appreciate your time.
Awesome, mate. Thank you.